the All of the Above podcast with 3 Seeds Mentoring Group.
Welcome to 3 Seeds Mentoring Group. This is our career corner, and we give career advice and we give other advice with professionals about how to make it on a day-to-day basis, dealing with problems, overcoming solutions and strategies that you can use. So who do we have the pleasure of speaking with today?
Hi, Jason. It's Dr. Mike McCosey. I'm the owner of Hope With Me. I'm a psychologist. We're a psychology practice. We love helping people master stress and anxiety.
So what's the most common form of stress you deal with people?
I mean, probably relationship stress, I would say. People coming in like they want strong relationships. They feel like they're doing things to create strong relationships, but it just seems like something is missing.
So in your expertise, I want to get you in trouble. Is it them or the other person most of the time?
Well, rarely do I have a person come in and say, it's all on me if I just change. I mean, the fact is that it's easier for us to probably see what other people are doing wrong.
Yeah, because you're on the outside. Right,
exactly.
Okay.
But I think when we can have that perspective of it's not about right or wrong, it's about like, what can we do that is most helpful? What can we do that's actually going to lead to a stronger relationship? And in that way, we're actually talking about things we can control. Because if we're saying that in order for our relationship to get stronger, it requires the other person to change, I've got no control over that. Right? So so now I've sort of created this scenario where I'm a bit of a victim, right? As opposed to like, okay, what can I do that can influence, that can strengthen, that can improve? And now we're talking about things that I can control. And I think when we're talking about things we can control, we're talking about then experiencing less stress.
Less stress. So is crazy a bad word in your field?
Yeah, I think we've sort of moved away from that.
Because I think in relationships, people I talk to, they'll say, my girlfriend, my wife, my husband, they're crazy. Now, that's the wrong term to use, but there are conditions like bipolar and things like that where if you're with someone, you can take ownership all day long, but if they have a condition, there's nothing you can do about that, right?
Sure. I mean, yeah, right. And again, though, I think, so 80% of our thoughts are negative.
Really?
Yeah. It's upwards of 80%. What does that mean?
80%?
Yeah. And, when I've asked this question, I'll ask people this question, what percent of thoughts are negative? I've never had somebody say less than 50. Why I think that's relevant is because, again, if our thoughts go more towards the negative, then we're more likely to see the negative in somebody else. And what's happened now, and I think this is a good thing, we're talking more about mental health, right? We're more aware, but part of what's happened with that is it's very easy to label somebody else. So again, if we tend to be more negative thinking, we see more of the negative in somebody else, it's really easy to jump into the space of, oh, they have bipolar or they have this disorder.
They won't see themselves.
Right. Exactly. So what we're doing there, though, is we're focusing more again on things that we can't change.
We can't change.
And if we're doing that, like ultimately, it doesn't help the relationship, but honestly, more significantly for somebody I'm working with, it doesn't help that person either. So like if I'm working with a client, like the clients who've had the most success are those who are able to kind of acknowledge, you know what, like it frustrates me that person does that. Or yeah, maybe they are struggling with something. But you know what, like, let me really reflect on what can I do? How do I want to be in this relationship? What are my values in terms of a relationship? I want to be kind. I want to be genuine. I want to be honest. You know what's funny?
What?
Oftentimes when we start living out our values, the relationship changes.
It does. I got a question. So you said a lot there. What age of maturity do people have? What age do you have to be to even think like that? Because, I'll say I got kids. Like, I don't know. I'll tell them wait till you're old to get in a relationship. But do you think that you can comprehend? What's the earliest you can comprehend that? You think what you just said, that approach?
80. No,
We can all quit.
I mean,
because that's the thing, right? Because you're saying that, but I know like the human mind is not ready. When can they receive that?
I mean, well, I guess I have a couple of thoughts, right? I mean, I think even if we're talking about, and, you know, I focus more like just in general, like who I see in my practice as adults, but, you know, talk to kids and things. I mean, I think you start being in adolescence, you can start beginning to have conversations about what's important to you, your values. So I think that can start at a young age. Now,
so getting your values at a young age is the best way to prepare somebody for a relationship.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, in terms of the application of that, like, okay, yeah, I think we're probably talking more early mid-20s sort of thing. But I think like, yeah, as teens, I mean, you know, we're asking a lot of our teens, but we can start thinking about what's important to me. And I think getting clear on that is significant.
What's important. Now, can a bad relationship really, really mess you up?
Well, I think in some ways a bad anything can sort of mess us up because of this reason. One of the main functions of our mind is to protect us.
Our mind is to protect us.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Right?
Okay.
To keep us safe. Like I like to ask people this. Have you ever had food poisoning?
No.
Okay. I have.
You have. Okay.
20 years ago, I remember it like it happened yesterday. Mm-hmm. I have not been back to that restaurant since. I will not go back to that restaurant.
You were scarred.
Yeah.
Okay.
But here's what's interesting. Can you remember what you ate 5 days ago?
Kind of, a little bit. Not vividly. It wasn't impressive, no.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can remember the food poisoning 20 years ago like it was yesterday, but something that happened 5 days ago, I can't. What does that tell us? Well, it tells us, again, that the function of our mind is to protect us. Mm-hmm. So if we've been hurt in a relationship, sure, our mind might be saying things like, ooh, watch out, you don't want to have that happen again. Mm-hmm. It's really powerful when we get to a point of realizing we don't always have to listen, though, to what our mind is saying.